Welcome to The Explainer. Today, we're going to talk about the single most important decision you can make in Blackjack. And here's a hint, it has nothing to do with hitting or standing. It's the one choice that really separates a winning session from a losing one.
So, what do you think it is? What's popping into your head? Are you thinking about splitting eights against a dealer's 10? Or maybe that dreaded hard 16? Yeah, those are tough calls, for sure. But they are not the toughest, not by a long shot. Nope. The real challenge, the one thing that separates disciplined players from everybody else, is knowing the exact right moment to just get up and walk away from the table. I know, it sounds almost too simple, right? But trust me, it goes against just about every natural instinct we have. So let's really dig into why this decision is so hard. A lot of players feel like leaving the table is a sign of weakness, like you're admitting defeat. But the truth is, it's a strategic move. In fact, it's a powerful skill to master. Here's the core idea you've got to burn into your brain. Blackjack is not a marathon. You don't get any extra points for endurance. The game could not care less if you sit there for 10 hours straight. What it does reward is discipline, knowing when to call it a day to protect your bankroll. At the heart of this whole challenge is this constant battle going on inside your own head. It's your human emotions, your gut feelings, going toe-to-toe with the cold, unfeeling mathematics of the game. And here are the culprits. When we're losing, our gut just screams at us to stay and win it back. When we're winning, we feel unstoppable, right? We want to press our luck. And after you've been playing for an hour, leaving can feel like you're abandoning an investment. These are all powerful, powerful feelings, but they have absolutely zero impact on the next card that gets dealt. And this is the crucial disconnect. The cards don't remember that you just lost 5 hands in a row. The table has no memory of your hot streak. Every hand is a fresh start, a totally independent event. But we remember. We carry all that emotional baggage into the next decision, and that often leads to disastrous results.
So, this emotional battle leads us right into the most common trap of all, trying to quit when you're down. This is, without a doubt, the absolute hardest exit to make.
I mean, come on, do any of these sound familiar? I'll win it back. The table has to turn eventually. I'm due for a win. The second you start thinking like this, you've stopped playing a game of strategy. You're now on a desperate recovery mission. You're making choices based on hope, and hope is not a strategy.
And this is exactly why chasing your losses is just a fatal flaw. The moment you feel that urgent need to win, you're in trouble. Urgency leads to bigger bets, riskier plays, and your strategy just flies right out the window. Staying at the table doesn't undo your past losses. It just creates brand new opportunities for more of them. Now for the flip side, which believe me can be just as dangerous. It is often just as difficult and just as important to walk away from the table when you're winning. I mean, when you're up, it is so easy to feel invincible. But a winning streak doesn't change the house edge. That little mathematical advantage the casino always has, it's still there, quietly working against you on every single hand. This is precisely when your discipline is tested the most. You have to remember, leaving on a high note is the only way to guarantee you have a winning session. It prevents that overconfidence from tricking you into giving all those gains right back to the house. You aren't cutting a hot streak short, you're finishing the job correctly. You're booking the win.
All right, now let's talk about something that doesn't care if you're up or down. It's a factor that affects every single player at the table. Simple mental fatigue. This is the quiet killer of bankrolls. Playing good blackjack requires constant, sharp focus. And as you get tired, your brain starts to break down. It happens in stages. First, your decisions get a little slower. Then you start missing basic strategy plays you'd normally nail without even thinking. Then you start taking emotional shortcuts, like hitting just because you feel it. And finally, you start making plays that are just outright risky. The moment your mental focus slips, any advantage you had is gone. Your session's over. It might not feel like it, but it is. Staying at the table at that point is just playing on autopilot, and that's a one-way ticket to losing money. So let's put it all together. The decision to leave shouldn't be based on whether you're up or down or some vague feeling of being lucky or unlucky. It should be based on your condition. You have to ask yourself, is my mind still clear? Is my discipline still intact? Have I accomplished my goal for this session? Those are the right reasons to walk away.
Ultimately, this all comes down to one fundamental truth. Even with perfect strategy, blackjack has that small house edge. And that edge works over time. The longer you expose your bankroll to it, the more certain it is that the math is going to catch up. Your best defense? Short, focused sessions.
So let's reframe how we think about this. Walking away from a blackjack table isn't quitting. It's not retreating. It's finishing. It is the final, correct play of a well-managed session. It's a sign of skill, not weakness.
And that's the question I'm going to leave you with. The next time you play, is your final move going to be a reaction to a lucky or an unlucky hand, or is it going to be a disciplined decision based on a plan you made and your own mental state? Because the answer to that, well, that's what's going to define your success in the long run.